Good evening to you, sir. I do hope that you are well rested. The Exarch and your companions are presently gathered in the Ocular. He asks that you convene with them at your earliest convenience. Check something here. If you have business with the quest to Stark, just say the word and I'll be happy to escort you to the outfit.
Ah, there you are. You're just in time to welcome our guest.
Please. Did I not explicitly tell you that we would be meeting again soon? Lest you forget, I made you a promise. I have no intention of meddling with your mission. I come only to observe. Your Exarch friend in particular has piqued my curiosity. Summoning you all like that. Most impressive.
You honestly expect us to believe you've come only to observe? Or that you might deign to lift a finger to aid our cause if called upon? Even if there were a sliver of truth in your words, I would never accept your help. Not in my darkest hour. Not after all the suffering your kind has wrought.
So petty. I meant what I said and I said what I meant. Wage your war against the Sin Eaters, put each and every Light Warden to the sword. Prove yourselves heroes, brave and true, and I will be glad to embrace you as allies. Allies worthy of bearing the burden of truth. Surely such a partnership would be preferable to yet another round of fisticuffs. And thus did the olive branch wither and die. Pity. Well, let no man say I did not try, futile as it was. Though I suspect you will seek me out when you grow tired of making the same mistakes. Difficult decisions lie ahead of you. Decisions best made with the benefit of knowledge to which only the Eternal are privy. For now, I shall resume my shadowy vigil. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it's worth watching, would you?
What was that all about?
A vain attempt to make us doubt our chosen course, most like. As if we'd believe a word that passed his lips. Unless you think there is some truth in what he says.
A colonel, perhaps.
If he simply meant to lead us astray, he could have done so without revealing himself. At least, not in the manner he did. It goes without saying that an alliance with the Ascians is out of the question. But since we have no way of knowing where they might be hiding, it seems only logical to press on with our mission, even if our enemy seems content for it to succeed.
Then let us discuss the Sin Eaters. I would begin by thanking you all for your efforts thus far. In striking down the Light Wardens of Lakeland and Ilmeg, you have accomplished more in your short time here than all of our forces managed in the last century.
That may be, but the Wardens of Calusia, Amareng, and Raktika remain.
Indeed, and their precise whereabouts are as yet unknown. Which is why I propose we divide our forces and conduct a systematic survey of each region. Once we have found our quarry, we may then determine how best to proceed.
I'll take Amareng in that case. I know the lie of the land well enough.
If there are no objections, I will make for Calusia. I have connections there both in and around Yulmore that may prove useful.
Then I would ask that you journey to Raktika. There you will find Y'shtola. With her assistance, I doubt the Warden will evade your grasp for long.
Is Y'shtola the conjurer you and Urianger used to talk about?
That's right, though we haven't spoken much since she left for the forest.
I fear I may be to blame for that. I had every intention of relaying the news of your arrival, but she is disinclined to speak with me. You have visited her, have you not? Might I trouble you to...
'Twould be no trouble.
My thanks. While you are all out in the field, I shall be here attending to business. I had somewhat fancifully contemplated joining the search myself, but other matters demand my attention.
What's that?
A missive from Lord Vorthry. He invites me to join him in Yulmore to discuss the recent conflict at Lida Luram.
And? Did he even bother to offer any bait? It's obviously a trap.
I should be surprised if it were not. Nevertheless, I must seize this opportunity to speak with him, even if only a few words are exchanged. Though my power will be much diminished so far from the tower, it is a risk I am willing to take. Master Alphino, might I impose upon you to accompany me to Yulmore prior to beginning your reconnaissance?
Of course.
Then let us make ready. Safe travels to you all.
At last I can finally meet Y'shtola. Taggart has told me so much about her. Menfilia and I are no strangers to Raktika, but perhaps this is the first time we're bothered entering through the proverbial front door. I should be glad to apprise thee of Y'shtola's recent endeavors during our journey to Raktika. There's so many ruins scattered throughout Amareng, I'm honestly not even sure where to start. Sometimes a great deal of my time in Calusia was spent defending the people, but that is not to say I gave no thought to our primary goal. Once I've escorted the XIV to Yulmore, you can be certain I will do all I can do to discern my whereabouts of the remaining warden that might be hiding in Calusia. Before you leave, I would make a request of you. There's a church, or rather the ruins of a church, at Fort Jobb. Might I ask you to go there before seeking out Y'shtola? It was a place where people once gathered to worship the light. Alas, it has long since fallen into disuse. Yet within the hall there remains some tablet and loose writings I believe would prove of use to Y'shtola. At the very least, such a relic would make a suitable gift for your reunion. A most considerate proposal. Very well. And before we depart to Raktika, we shall journey to Fort Jobb that we might secure this relic. do not doubt this place may whether or another was sold by its eaters, but they cannot be hoped to hold it should the Romoran soldiers return. Even with the limited numbers, the guard can use the terrain to their advantage. Perhaps I can convince the captain to lay a few traps out in the field. Tancred and I have come across these ruined churches before. I wish I could have seen them before the flood. The windows were works of art, I'm told. Here amidst these ruins we'll find the Church of the First Light, and within that hollowed hall, the tablet we seek. Time is of the essence, my friend. Let us be quick. Let's have a visit of her. At the height of Lakeland's prosperity, the site served not as man's final bastion, but as a testament to the ingenuity and architectural prowess. The Church of the First Light was responsible for many such marvels, building majestic chapels in every corner of the realm. Alas, the flood was an inaccessible tide, so drowned out every one, and did put an end to the religion as a whole. For the creatures which then did rise from that fulgent deluge were seen as agents of divine punishment, sent out to devour sin and sinner both. Whence came the name of Sin Eater. The people were lost, seemingly forsaken by their god. Yet, where there is light, there hath never been shade, and 'twas the darkly south solace. The most devout of these worshippers of shadow did then migrate to the Ratika Greatwood. That is a tale for another time. For now, let's find what remaineth of the chapel here. Dear, whatever am I to do? Forgive me, I didn't see you there. You've come seeking treatment, I presume. I'm afraid we're not taking any patients at the moment. You're not ailing, you say? I'm sorry, I'm simply assumed. This is an infirmary, you see, or rather, I should say, used to be. My father ran it, you see, before, but he's no longer with us. Devoured by a sin eater in the battle of homelessness which was sorrows came. I did not even have a chance to say goodbye. And so I'm alone in this world now. There's one man, a member of the guard, and different from my father's, who promised he would look after me when things came to the worst. Then he was transferred to a distant and dangerous post, and thus I am unable to so much as share the unfortunate news. I hope I someone who could hold his own in battle. Would you be so kind as to brave the road and brave the message with this man? Of course, I would compensate you well for your efforts. His name is Milva, and consequently, he still serves at Radiska's round. Pray, seek him out and tell him that Culpus lives no longer. Pains me to ask a stranger to bear such grim news, but it would mean everything to me. The road is long and fraught with danger. I would not get very far on my own. I cannot force you to do this, but can you find it hard to help me? Thank you, my friend. I have no words to express my gratitude. My name is Callie, and I ask yours. Gentlemen, indeed. Thank you, dear. Be safe. Curse my clumsy feet. Really done it this time. From when we were back from an assignment in weathering, when, would you believe I slipped and fell? Sending the sack I was going flying out from my hand and hiding to the heavens. When I was in the height bad enough, a massive beast out from nowhere snatched my precious belongings in its jaws and carried them off into the gods nowhere. Suffice to say, if I return empty-handed, my commanding officer is like as not to put me on privy cleaning duty for a week. You must help me, my friend. Oh, good traveler, thank the gods you're here. You simply must help deliver us from our nightmare. I speak, of course, of those goddamn gremlins who keep sneaking in to defile the graves beyond our fort. Time and time again have I and my fellow guards chased them away, only to see them come back in hordes, cackling and sniggering all the way. As if they weren't bad enough, they continuously berate us with an array of vulgar aspirations that, and unsurprisingly given their limited intellect, more often than not hit painfully close to home. That's not so bad that one of our men, that was definitely not me, spent the night crying in his pillow after the last session. But I can tell you, you're not the one who let the words wound you, alright? Of course I am. So I beg you, go forth through the graveyard and be Gremlin's mighty hero with me. How can I fail to comprehend the profound significance of my feeling? Have I truly known who else prepared to turn my life in mortal danger to pursue knowledge? Oh, whoa, boys. Oh, hello there, forgive me. I'm a bit flustered. I'm a scholar specializing in historical architecture. I might have paid a visit to Lax and Loft. I might assess the full extent of the damage sustained in the recent damage to the Warren forces. I had assumed the Crystarium Guard would be escorting me to ensure my safety, but insisting they could not spare a single man for the task. Why, it's almost as if they could believe my research to be less than their utmost importance. What's this? Not only have you set foot inside the castle, you fought in the battle itself. Truly, fortune smiles upon me today. You so kindly accompanied me on my expedition. You would, of course, be handsomely compensated for your services. Splendid! Now let's be off. My research has waited far too long already. No sign of the church, but it must be around here somewhere. Being most unusual, but mayhap the hall was built below ground. Despite their architectural prowess, I can neither make head nor tail of anything in this place. And you think the remnants of the church would be more conspicuous? Aye, this is indeed the church we seek. It's surprisingly intact. What little is left of the churches I've seen until now has always borne some scars and decades of disuse. Its subterranean construction hath done much to protect the hall from the ravages of time, yet the reason for its remarkable preservation may be deduced from its decoration. As the faith in light did wane, so rose reverence for the dark, and its followers did want for places of worship. To be plain, the standards which do adorn these walls belong not to those who built them, but to the worshippers of the dark, the Knights Blessed. So someone migrated to Raktika, yes? Indeed, it was beneath the shaded boughs of Raktika Greatwood that they finally found sanctuary. Often, many times, did Gilmore make spurious overtures of friendship unto them, but they are no fools. The exarch knoweth full well that Y'shtola in her seclusion doth labor to learn all she may of the blessed in their past. 'Tis why he sent us here, I now see. The tablet which he speak no doubt provided the glimpse into the history of that she so yearns to comprehend. Well then, we better hurry up and find it. See in front of my hand in front of my face. Only that torch were a little closer. Were the tablet of fragment of Holy Scripture, it would also certainly be a mystery on the south. Yet this would, I presume, also have been where the blessed place the font of seeing used to branches of the faith. Whither then will they accept the tablet? Can anyone tell me what this infernal tablet even looks like? Within the altar, thou sayest. Some hope this is what we're looking for. How are we able to see in the dark? And inside of the altar of all places. God escapeth thine eye, this is indeed the tablet we see. Curious. These predate the Knights Blessed. They have written the script of the ancient empire of Rome, whose capital once stood in the midst of what is now but we know small not matter decipher. A fine gift for our seeker of the truth. Displaying the exarch understanding of each other only too long. But come, let us quit this place and make ready for our journey into the woods. Every part there is a custom under the Knights Blessed which I feel compelled to elucidate. As one might expect, they deem the light to be abhorrent, and everything it touches to be fouled. Thus do they make their most pains to protect all they can from its taint, including their very names. To speak plain, it is the belief of the blessed that one's own name must ne'er be uttered in the light of the everlasting day. Yet this commandment precludeth not the use of another's. Thus do parents protect their children, in rare cases the masters their disciples. So it is that Y'shtola hath taken the way of the name Master Matoya. Thus we offend them. I bid you speak not her true name in the blessed's presence. With that in mind, let us speak with the guard who keepeth vigil at the Great Wood's border. Do my ears deceive me? The chittering and snickering is no more? Could it be? Dare I dream? Have you put an end to the gremlin menace once and for all? Oh, Gores! That is the same figure, Jobb. All for Jobb is new intent. Forgive me, I got carried away with the topic of this nasty names. Speaking of which, do you ever wonder where they come from? I swear I never thought of one of them. I heard someone saying that they first started popping up after the Casterman was built. That they came out of the tower. So the truth we can say, all I know is that they don't mind. Good enough. for a moment that you mentioned leaving you stranded here. Anyway, how as you can see, this place has seen better days. Truly shares. We've all the proof. Historical treasures to the realm has lost. Continues to lose. In any event, let's have a walk around the premises and take a closer look. Move closer to examine the courtyard. Why don't you circle the perimeter and take a stock of what you see? You're back. Did you have a chance to make your way around the castle? Pray. Tell how did it look? I see. If I might, allow me to pose a mock question. I realize that unlike me, you are hardly an expert in such matters. But what do you think of this castle? Aesthetically speaking, that is. Very nice. Yes. Could not agree more, my friend. For a layperson, you have most remarkable life. Although it suffered some damage, Laxton still stands strong and as a singular specimen of this region's rich heritage and history. It's written in the histories of the in the days of old, the elves had held sway over all Mold. Yet they had no interest in establishing a nation, as it were, thus were gradually driven from the home by the races. Realizing they had to fight with their lives to defend their claim to the source, the ancestral holy ground, with their lives, the once scattered clans banded together, uniting under a single king. So born was an ancient lakeland, and Laxton flourished as the seat of his king. Shortly after, the elves allied with humans and protected the source from would-be invaders for years to come. Events took a turn, however, some 100 years ago. Elven dissidents from the old guard who sought to restore their race to their former glory banded together under the auspices of a figure known only as the Shadowkeeper, and a bloody revolution began. Laxton, so proud and glorious, was bathed in fire and stained with blood, the beginning of the devastation that would continue with a flood and beyond. But going back to the revolution, it came a most fascinating theory. You see, one school of scholars posits that... forgive me. I tend to get carried when the topic turns to history. Let us return to our job that I properly reward you for your assistance. Nothing I can do for you. City has got coldness. Saying so. Bloody fool, how many times did I tell him? Forget that damn battle and stay home with Kalia. The guild needs to listen. It's just... that was like brother to me. Anyhow, I'd like nothing more than to rush off to Kalia's side with him, but I can't very well run off. At least not find out what someone to cover me first. This very moment, maybe we will have to talk to my spirit. Captain Maines has been sturdy man, but also reasonable. I reckon he wouldn't begrudge me a brief respite to see the girl. Well, she's almost found. Can't thank you enough, friend. You'll find the captain inside the tower. I'd best be getting back to my post. Look forward to hearing the good word. Slain by City. You started this. This is Sunday for a cause. It was a fine position, one of the best we had. I've long scouted how many men were bucked back from bring death by his hand. He was also one of the bravest men I knew. Though he was no warrior, he did not hesitate to venture beyond the safe walls and was carrying the tender patients on the front lines. It was in this spirit that he chose to establish a infirmary at Fort Jobb. But he's gone. We must carry on without him. So when Nilden's requested for leave of absence is considered granted. Some do what he must to get for Colfax's girl. I'll see his post is covered. Truth, we can all afford to lose even a single good man at a time like this. And yet, there are certain things that must not be compromised. Tell Nilden that he may go to the girl's side with my blessing. Oh, there you are. What's the good word, friend? Captain said, what? Must be going soft in his older age. Figured you at least have told me to hurry back. Goes to show you what people have thought of Colfax. He was a good man. Treated every patient with dignity and respect, be they prince or pauper. And he wouldn't think twice about risking his own life when his others' lives in danger. Could barely swing his sword, yet wouldn't stop him from braving monster-infested forests, roamed with swing eaters, tin eaters, gods know what else. Even showed his face here at the round from time to time. Horses were dead in midnight, and yet I can be down to no regrets. Except for leading poor Caleb to behind defend for herself. Anyhow, you have my thanks. With that, that's prepared to hit the road. Someone who needs me. Well, there's nothing we can say about it. Kelly needs me, so I best take the road. Colfax lost his dear wife and parents too, not long after the girl was born. It was Callie alone by himself. Never rich by any means, but still I saw her. She wanted for nothing. Can't imagine what the poor girl's going through all alone this dangerous road. As Colfax's close friend, it's my duty to be there for her and see whatever she needs. Come to think of it, I'm supposed to be just going along. Just one man, and not looking after Callie. It's not like we'll be. Your life's everything. I'm sure it'll mean the world to the girl. And with that, I'd best be gathering my belongings. See you back at Fort Jobb. Welcome back, friend. You found my supplies, yes? Oh, please say you did. Just the thought of scouring the privy with a toothbrush again is sending shivers down my spine. Could be. Oh, it is my sack. My lovely, lovely sack. And though it's looking rather worse for wear, my contents appear to be entirely intact. What exactly are the contents, you ask? Among other things, there happens to be a remarkable device that's entrusted to us in the guard of the Crystal itself. But essentially zoomed in from the Crystal Tower. Though it simply looks like a pretty round gemstone, somehow it has the ability to measure the concentration of ether in the air around and the matter around us. Needless to say, it's not something that anyone, not even the artisans of the mean, can just toss together. I lost it for good. Thanks to you, I don't have to think about it that much anymore, do I? No, there isn't much, but please take this as a token of my thanks. And with that, I best hurry back, lest I get punished anyway for my tardiness. There you go. Welcome back, friend. Thank you once again for your invaluable aid. Take pride in knowing that you have made a great contribution to the historical scholarship trade. Pray accept this as a token of my thanks. With that, I best return to my study. Farewell. Uncle Needham, you came all the way here for me. And you, Daniel, how can I ever repay you for your generosity? Think nothing of it, girl. Poor thing, you've been through more than any child should have to suffer. But don't worry, Uncle Nilden and Uncle Daniel are here to see you in every need. You're truly too kind. Everyone has been. Why, even those here in the fort I have never spoken to before I've stopped by to offer their sympathies. Whatever I've done to deserve such kindness. I reckon your old man is to thank for that. People loved him, Gallia, and they know that his daughter and assistant is cut from the same cloth. You've got nothing to feel guilty about. What are you saying, Uncle Neldon? It's my fault, all of it. I never should have let him go to that terrible place. Don't you ever think about blaming yourself for that, Gallia. Your father went there because he felt like it was his duty. 100 men couldn't have stopped that stubborn bastard once he made up his mind. Yes, that's what everyone tells me. The father has a talented physician and a great man. That he is a hero to try and face danger and sacrifice himself in the name of the cause. So I know yet, and yet. To me, he was my father. As cruel as it sounds, I couldn't care less that he died a hero. I wanted him to live, so he left me. He didn't even give me the chance to say goodbye. Gallia, your old man may have left you here, but you never left his mind and heart. Not for one moment. You were more important to him than myself. I know this, and yet I don't understand. His duty, his patience, his daughter. How could anyone be so selfless? Did he not stop to think of himself? Forgive me, my friends. I'm so feeling a little overwhelmed by it. No apologies needed, girl. Not a heart at any place, and yet we have to carry on without him somehow. All of us do. So tell me, Gallia, what do you plan on doing now? The sick and wounded are still shut up at these doors. My heart aches for them, and yet I'm a physician's assistant. I simply cannot offer them the treatment my father once did. And so I think I will head for the Crystarium. I will shut out the doors of the infirmary, sell the furniture and the equipment for what little they're worth, and use the coin to fund my trip. Aye, perhaps that'll be for the best. Be safe there, and at least in a good place to start as I need to start a new life. There's a residence hall there, the catenary as they call it. They give the room and board to refugees and others looking to make the Crystarium their new home. You can take shelter there till you find a job and place of your own. Say, Danny, would you mind going on ahead and make the arrangements? Before I still am, there's an acquaintance of mine. Space is always tight, but let him know that of Gallia's situation, I'm looking about to find a room for him. You've been expressed the depth of my gratitude, friend. Thank you. greetings and welcome to the Catholics. I may be of service to you. Young girl was been offered out for a job, he said. Tragedy indeed. But worry not, women's just opened up for her to reserve for Miss Dahlia's family. Jeremy's most fortunate, for since they raid on the woman's situation, morning to day and day. Her rooms can only hold so many. Do not worry, we'll do everything we can for your young acquaintance. There are others here who have suffered similar tragedies and can doubtless sympathize with her. She'll be among friends. Needless to say, I and the rest of your staff will also watch her closely and see if her needs are controlled so time that she should come in and life for your mystery. Don't her to come in safety, and then we'll look forward to welcoming her to our house. Ah, there you are. Just all went well at the Crystarium. Afraid to say we had something of an incident here. I'll let Gallia give you the news. Come back, Daniel. I cannot thank you enough for all you have done for me. I look very much to settling in my new home at the Crystarium. And I fear there's something of a complication. Milden and I had but finished packing my things on. Forgive me. I must go to my thoughts. My apologies, Daniel. I fear we have a bit of a situation on our hands. While you were kindly making arrangements for me at the Crystarium, a young man was rushed here with the most horrific symptoms. Aye, one of the new recruits here for a job. Nasty fiend got him. One of the damned tree men. Got him bad. As his brother's arms tell it, he was lucky he survived. Sadly, he won't be surviving much longer in his current state. See, the beast that nicked him had some nasty venom in his claws. The way the poor boy's convulsing, he's probably spending it through his body even as he speaks. He's resting in bed for now, but if we don't do something soon. Searching through the father's belongings, I found a book containing recipes for a wide variety of antidotes. Instructions seem clear enough. I'm quite confident I can mix up one up provided I have the proper ingredients. Unfortunately, this is easier said than done. The most vital ingredients is a swab of the original poison which the man was stricken. Furthermore, the medicine must be mixed immediately after obtaining the sample, while the venom is still fresh. We know precisely what type of beast did it, and there are more plentiful in these parts. We wouldn't have to travel far to procure the poison, provided we had someone with the strength to fell the fiend. The soldiers have been so kind to my father and me. I simply cannot let them down in our need. Oh, Daniel, I beg you, will you help me? You can count on old Needham too, my girl. I'm no slouch in battle after all. Or have you forgotten? Thank you, Uncle Needham. But no, you must stay here with our patient. Make sure that he has water to drink and tell him that I will return shortly with the antidote. Aye, I understand. Watch yourself out there, Gallia. Alright, Daniel, we have no time to lose. The creatures we seek lurk in the woodlands just west of the fort. I'll meet you there. Daniel, do you see those ghastly living trees? These are the fiends that poisoned our poor soldier. There's a file you may use to collect the sample. Father's records made it clear that the venom is quick to break down. Too much time passes, I'll be asking you to collect a fresh sample. So be warned, these beasts are not like to be part of the poison willingly. If not, you have to weaken them somewhat before you allow you to be close enough to do. Be safe now. Stand by here and prepare the rest of my ingredients. I think it is. Yes, I do believe this is exactly what I need to mix up to the antidote. This shouldn't take long. Keep a lookout, make sure that no one can sneak up on us. That should do it. Quickly now, I'm going to serve back to the fort while the boys still draw breath. No looking, not thinking. I knew it, the beast was upon me. Shouldn't have been hurt, and the medicine saved me. It's a miracle. No, it was you. I started to think of what would happen if you had not rushed to my side as you did. My foolishness already cost us too much time. Come, we should hurry back to Fort Jobb before it's too late. Good to see you back in one piece, friend. Gallia's inside tending to the boy. Reckon we should leave her alone until the job's done. Treatment is complete. The poison has been flushed from the system. It will take some time for him to regain his strength. The man will live. My hair simply turned it back, the way Father always did when he was working. He would always say he wanted to do nothing to block his field of vision while examining his patients. Wicked white, if you ain't splitting the image, the spitting image of it. Mind you, I ain't just talking about your looks. What do you mean, Uncle Neilton? Fire burning your eyes, the way you can think of nothing but the poor boy who needed help. The way you didn't hesitate to fling yourself into harm's way for his sake. I swear it's as if your whole family is determined to send old Uncle Neil into an early grave for sheer fright. Like father, like daughter. For better and for worse. Is it possible that I resemble father more than I thought? I? And not just your own father, but his father before him. I never met him, but I did. I can say for certain. We come from a long line of folks with more compassion and common sense. Golfus's father wasn't either, but a soldier, one of the first members of the Christian Guard. Time and again, put his life on the line here for a job to keep those who were building the city safe. To Golfus and I, he was a hero, and so we swore a vow one day that we'd follow in his footsteps and protect the people from this land from danger. That's how I came to join his guard. Golfus, on the other hand, was never much of one for fight. He struggled with this at first, but eventually he was able to find a calling of his own. And whatever you lacked in brute strength, he made up for with his courage. Courage that I see is alive and well in his daughter. Courage, indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Dan? He was no stranger to acts of risking your life for the sake of others, after all. Come now, Uncle Nildy's no fool. Don't you think I haven't heard from my fellow Greyards about your rescue mission with Captain Lena during the raid on Holminster? rushing into den of sin eaters just to save those poor villagers. That's a selfless act of courage and self-sacrifice I've ever heard of. Is it true, Daniel, that you risk your very life to save the people of Holminster? But they were strangers to you, yes? How was it that you were able to put yourself in peril for the sake of total strangers? I could not stand back and do nothing. I see. And so, you did what you felt you had to do. Thanks to you, it's finally clear to me. I know I must do. Daniel, Uncle Meldon, pray stand word to the Grace Jerry. We will not be needing a room. Tend to stay here at Fort Jobb and carry on Father's legacy. I know this is a dangerous place and my own skills pale in comparison to his. And yet there is no one else better equipped to tend to these people. I will do what I must. Father left behind a wealth of knowledge. If I still study diligently and work to hone my skills, then one day perhaps I might be the healer he once was. Aye, my girl, I reckon you just might. No one can say what tomorrow will bring, and this I know. You've already done your father proud. If only the stubborn bastard could have been here to see you this day. Thanks for you always believing me, but my journey to follow his footsteps has only just begun. That's the spirit, girl. But remember, you need to walk the path alone. If you're ever finding yourself overwhelmed by it all, you can always give Uncle Nibbley a shout. Thank you, my friend. I will. And thank you, Daniel. I was but a stranger to you, and yet you have shown me more kindness than anyone. Your selflessness has inspired me to find something deep within me that, were it not for you, I would never have known was there. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I have no reason. No, I know I have no reason to, but I can't help but feeling nervous about meeting Ishola. It'll be good to see Ishola again. I pray that the hag mind explanation of the Blessed's customs. 'Twill be ill advised to provoke their ire. Well met, child. What business brings you here? Yes, of course. Right this way.
No matter how far he goes, man cannot resist looking back on the path he has walked. The untold stories and secrets of the past can be more alluring than the promise of tomorrow. And so he braves the forests of Raktika in search of mystery and wonder. Of Ronka, to which all seekers of hidden truths are inevitably drawn.
We have arrived. Vast though these woods may be, they are, by and large, uninhabitable. Not so the swamps of Sidia, however, whose sparse foliage permitted man a foothold.
No lands must remain beyond our grasp. Go forth, conquer, rule!
Forgive me.
A sudden pang of nostalgia for those halcyon days. Exploring virgin territories, subjugating primitive peoples, all for the glory of Garlemald.
If you've brought your ivory standard, I'll be happy to tell you where to stick it.
Can we not simply take a moment to enjoy the view together? Or would you rather I spied on you from the shadows? Much more of this, and I may very well begin to regret my show of good faith.
If you really want to stay, then help us fight.
No, I think not. I am an observer, nothing more. Even shielded by the shadows of these boughs, I feel the light's presence most keenly. To accompany you is taxing enough. To fight is out of the question.
I will suffer your company if I must, but not your commentary.
They just told me of the Asians and what they have done. If he isn't willing to help, then is it wise to let him stay with us? I never open his mouth again, it would be too soon. What is it now? Do you expect me to regale you with friendly banter? Oh, very well. We'll hear me with this once. May consider it my latest act of good faith. Come, on, men. What is it you wish to know? I choose this one here first. Oh, well, that's a curious question. Mortal flesh is but a vessel which the Asians pour through the midst of our souls, molding it as it is an occasion, or not. If you so choose. Be it for a year or millennium, I prefer to retain the same form until my duty is done. So after arriving here the first, I fashioned some apples bottom for the man you see before you. Though, as your friend over there can attest, there are those who are forgoing such operations. You could have a rash or well, I'm that's it. Never been told to do. It is plain I am asking how to find me. Would otherwise he would not suffer the events of life in these worlds. Verily pervadeth every corner, and so as long as the order remaineth, the city eaters shall be free to prey upon these lands without severing as cease. If not is done, it is but a matter of time before the blessings are come. 2 years past, I swore I was assuming induced to lay waste to the larger settlements, killing a great many of the priests in so doing. Though some few did survive, they knew not how to go on. There were souls in the for mercy shall I provided that which they sold. They have since endeavored to restore their home, and thither shall we then our steps go. both know that Yorianji enjoys painting pictures of his works, but do not exaggerate this place. Yorianji said they were building, but there's no one here. Well, where's this friend of yours been to meet?
I see little sign of recent activity, nor hath any meaningful progress been made with the reconstruction. Mayhap Y'shtola sought shelter elsewhere. Come, let us quit this place.
Now! Surround them! These senators, they're not like the others.
There's a reason for that. Lower your weapons, please. We mean you no harm.
How is it they can speak?
It's a Sin Eater trick. They mean to kill us all.
Not senators.
Perhaps they speak the truth.
Oh, for the love of... I had hoped that by accompanying you, we might come to understand one another. But all I have come to understand is that you have a knack for inflaming the natives. You've committed the cardinal sin of boring me. And so, I retire to the shade. Good luck.
There! Did you see that one disappear?
I think I preferred La Habrea.
Oh, ouch.
Enough. Runar, report.
Master Matoya! We apprehended them as you ordered, but are you certain these are Sin Eaters?
The intense light of the ether I saw was unmistakable. If not Sin Eaters, then what?
'Tis passing queer that Y'shtola should mistake us for the enemy, is it not? Mayhap it hath been too long since last she beheld the radiance of thine ether. Master Matoya, hath time truly made strangers of us?
Nay, I recognize you, Urianger, Thancred. And this is Minfilia of the First, of whom you spoke before.
Just so. And knowing as thou must that we come in peace, might I prevail upon thee to have thy comrades lower their arms?
First explain this other presence in your company. The one I know not. There is but one manner of creature in this world whose ether is suffused with such an abundance of light.
Mine apologies, Master Matoya, but thou art mistaken. Before thee standeth our dearest comrade, the truest hero among us. Though he is but recently arrived here in the First, not one but two Light Wardens have already perished by his most puissant hand.
cannot be.
You truly thought me a Sin Eater?
Master Matoya?
Lower your weapons. Forgive us this hostile welcome. Come. I would give you a proper introduction to Raktika and its people.
Sheer magic from this stranger. That better than mine. Things gonna suck. I didn't expect her to be so imposing in person. You have been busy since arriving the first, I gather. But I would hear the tales of your travails in more suitable surroundings. The Fort Gone being yet to be rebuilt, and its blessed have made a home in its own to the northeast. I will wait you at its entrance. Follow the path through the yonder gate and you'll find the zoo. There you are. I was beginning to worry. Much like the 12's this force has a way of dealing with those who stray too far from the beaten path. But I digress. Let me show you the home of the Knight's Blessing. Have you ever seen such a tree? To think these are only the roots. Only at least a rest. To make the home here and so swiftly would surely have required no small amount of ingenuity. Most impressive feat, without not agree.
Slitherbough is the largest of the blessed settlements. They worship no gods, instead revering darkness itself. It is a curious kind of faith, but one which has granted them the strength to persevere in the wake of the flood. I hope you weren't expecting a grand feast by way of welcome. They are a simple people. Now, I would hear of your travels away from prying ears. Come. I see. And now you seek the Light Warden of Raktika. In the days after I arrived in the First, I too relied upon the Crystal Exarch for guidance. But his penchant for secrecy and the telling of half-truths soon lost him my trust. And thus did I strike out on my own. My work eventually led me here to the forest, which I have come to know like the back of my hand. I cannot say with certainty where your quarry is hiding, but I am confident I can narrow the search.
Well, go on then.
Some few thousand years ago, this forest stood at the heart of the Empire of Ronka. A great many relics of that civilization can still be found to the east in Ixmaya. Or rather, could be found, were the area not fiercely guarded. Ixmaya, you see, is home to a tribe of warriors whose lineage is said to date back to the time of the Empire. Any attempt to enter their territory is met with lethal force. They offer no warnings, and suffer no trespasser to escape. Needless to say, my every attempt to survey the area has been thwarted.
Mayhap the Warden hideth there, full knowing none may approach it for fear of these protectors.
As for the tablet, I find the timing of its discovery suspiciously convenient. If I did not know better, I would think someone was trying to curry favor with me. Regardless, it will take time to decipher these writings. Yet I would not be at all surprised if they somehow held the key to entering Ixmaya unmolested. The Exarch has a nose for serendipity.
If there is aught I can do to assist thee in unraveling their secrets, thou needst only ask.
Thank you, Urianger. I may well take you up on that offer. While we set to work, might I suggest you take a tour of the city? Should you be in any doubt as to the importance of your role as the Warrior of Darkness, the people here will surely cure you of it.
I must say, Stola, while most of us have struggled to come to terms with our altered circumstances, you seem to have adapted rather well.
Lest you forget, Master Matoya and I dedicated our lives to uncovering the truth which hides at the heart of our world. Though separate, the fate of this reflection is nevertheless bound to that of our home. That I would be daunted by such an invaluable opportunity is absurd. But what of you, Thancred? Could it be that you are still struggling to come to terms with the nature of your young companion?
My struggles are none of your concern. Quite why you would speak thus and in this company, I do not know. Perhaps you left more of yourself back in the source than I assumed. If you'll excuse me.
He understands that I'm not the same. That I'm not her.
Understands, perhaps, but does not accept. The question being whether he ever will. And whether you will, more importantly. As difficult as your circumstances may be, they are yours, not his. 'Tis you and you alone who bears ultimate responsibility for your life. But you need not make any hard choices now. Why not go and get some fresh air, clear your head?
When Shola first arrived in the Firth, she made swift work of the Cabinet of Curiosity. Her thirst yet unsated, she then journeyed hither seeking the wisdom of Rock. She found little in the way of welcome from the Blessed, however. 'Twas not until the Great Fire, where she denied the Sin Eaters a feast of ether, that she gained their trust. Since then I have served as liaison twixt Slitherbow and the Crystarium, that she might be kept abreast of the other servants. I wish I'd never... I am not indifferent to Thankin's troubles. Nevertheless, I will not apologize to hold him to a higher standard after all these years. He has ever been a man of considerable resolve, and that is what I will continue to expect. Though it hardens me to know that some of us remain ourselves in spite of our present circumstances. I can imagine how Odyssey and Alpha now have changed since arriving here in the First. Perhaps you should consider how you've changed. I realize I'm not as I was on this horse, but I cannot say I regret the decisions that allowed me to come this far. Returning to the matter at hand, I really must begin work on deciphering this tablet. In the meantime, perhaps you should take a look about the Slitherbow. Is there anything you need? Pray speak with Bernard at the Plaza. Welcome, friend. Welcome. I apologize for a less than hospitable greeting. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you have bought might help us find the line border here in Natik. Well, you are welcome to stay along with us as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Would it be alright if I joined you? Of course, of course. Anything for the guests of our dear Master Montoya. Thank you. She means a great deal to the nice buses, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the Great Fire. With our police slain and our home in ruins, we are at the mercy of the Sin Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadows many have come to find solace. That is not to say there were not those who hesitant to guide such an outsider authority, myself included. Perhaps a smile rise when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again now that she's with us, and have no doubt the others feel the same. She has as much as a part of the dark nice buses as any of us, and we're grateful for all that she does in the service to the dark. You do not hear this from me, yes? Now, you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to as long as they reside in Slitherbow. To show reverence to the dark? Oh, yeah, Lord, yes. Fear not, it is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. I kept her room dark because she didn't need the light, but all ours, aren't they? Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey from beyond the borders of Arctique. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of light's impurity. It's a perhaps peculiar custom, but is one of our most important. Would you two kneel just for a moment? I might rid you of light's impurity. With that, you've been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has the water been treated in some way? Only blessed by priests. They are practicing the arcane arts. As such, it is said the prayers imbue the water with their faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation? No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have a discernible effect. Unless... With gods! Master Montoya is right. You are sin eaters. I jest. What you felt was unlikely more than the chill of the watch. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourself with the people of Slitherbound. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alin Tuta. In the name of Ronka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or gesture we should know too? I would hate to offend anyone. You need not worry. Merely speak the words Alin Tuta and they will know you as a prince of the blessed. Well, wait to return here. Now go. They're likely to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. No need to be shy, my friend. The blessed are warm and welcoming people. Alain Cheese, welcome. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time. Yes? Beware of these woods, you will find poison in near everything you see. Fear not, a medicinal tea will keep you up. Ask it, it is yours. Business with strangers. Newly come traveler, Alin Cheesy, and welcome to Slitherbound. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are quiet and taciturn people. Silent and serene as the sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and the other dangers here in the woods. Goodbye, my friend. May the shadows keep you. I hope your stroll through about Slitherbound will prove enlightening. Everyone was so kind and gracious. I was nervous at first, but I'm already starting to feel at home. There's so much to have to learn about the Line's Blessed. The faith and strength and will is nothing short of inspiring. See how they've built such a thriving community.